Situation do we have? So we are placing wind and waterproof tarp for the roof. This one is 3 layers. It says 130, which means it's 130 grams by square meter. So that's pretty heavy and pretty thick. And when you're doing those, you always have to check which part of your roof is going down, like which directions. I have separate parts, is this one, that one on the other side, and then one on top. So each of those you have to do it separately, so you overlap it that direction where the water is gonna flow or go down, so that way if any kind of drop or whatever gets in under the metal sheeting or under your roof, it cannot get inside, so you have to overlap it and then tape it, of course, these seams, so it's watertight, windproof and everything, so then the water just kind of drops along the way if case it gets inside. And for the boards, I'm doing 50 centimeter gaps, and until I'm gonna reach like the 3 meter mark where my one metal sheet like ends the end, I'm gonna place one more almost at the end, like a bit closer, and then I know that my second is going to be also 3 meters, so then I'm gonna start doing again 50 centimeter gaps, and that way you're going to from down to up. And this roof is not much of a steep, that's pretty great. On that side it is a bit steeper, so you have to be a bit careful. I don't know for what kind of reason it's a bit warmer right now. I'm walking on the roof. Yesterday rained a bit, so I'm a bit wet right now. I left my clothes outside, so well, it doesn't matter. So I think today I'm going to end with shooting this tarp, and I think I'm going to finish all of the roof, this wood laying, the gaps and everything, prepare it. Hopefully I will have some time left to do the sides, to finish up the upper side for the walls. So hopefully everything's going to be a great success today. And yeah, so there's not much left. There's like, I don't know, half a meter down, and then there's like tarp, so we're almost up. I don't know, as you can see, but this gap is pretty small. It's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 meters or something. So I'm gonna lay that first, staple everything, then I'm gonna go and come around with all the boards, and then I'm gonna do probably almost the last layer of this tarp. Yesterday I have received documents for the house that we just removed it, which is basically no longer on the plan. So yesterday I took like, I don't know, 2 hours for waiting only for those documents, and for like Monday or Tuesday the same guy is gonna come and gonna measure this and start placing like on the new documents, on the new plan, where it is like the exact location for it. So that's great news. And after him another guy is gonna come, and then it's gonna measure and register, as it is not complete building, just basically on the building side, let's say this way. What we have done, well, you can obviously see we have accomplished all of these trimmings all around the windows, all around the corners, on each and every side. You can see from top to bottom, all around the corners. Today is a bit windy, so this side we also have complete. This side, oh, I forgot, I need to place one more stick right here, but that's the last piece I will need for the whole of the sides. For the roof, what we have, Well, we have accomplished every single layers. Everything is kind of measured. I only kept some places uncovered with these boards, like for example this like straight corner, because I don't know like exactly what kind of angle it's gonna sit and where the end is gonna like join to the other small part. So I think I'm gonna just see how it goes, and on the process I'm gonna place it how I want, how is the best for the structure. Also, same for this triangle, for this tiny one, and for this place, because as you can see this is a bit like a curve right here, so the panels are not going to be like straight, they're going to be obviously straight by this side, so which means it's gonna move like 90 degrees from that side, and however the end is gonna like end, then I'm gonna know exactly where to put some extra ones, so that's going to be way easier. For the tallest part, it's a bit windy. For the tallest part, everything seems alright, because I know how long it is. It's gonna end right about here, so the second like half of the panel is gonna end probably overhang, and yeah. For the corner trims, well, as you can see, it's kinda, how you say, kinda equal to the sides. So we have a nice corner where we're gonna place a metal sheeting corners, so it's gonna be all covered nice and tight. Same for there, same here, and for here is going to be like a full water, so it's going to be a bit of a different corner, which I basically leave a gap from the top board like 5 centimeters, because that will going to be way better. As you can see, I'm just walking on these small boards. That's a bit sketchy, but it's alright. So yeah, that's what we have. If you're gonna do same as me, of course, don't forget, overlay it on top, the one part that is higher, you overlap it, that way the water flows, nothing gets inside, you're gonna be safe and dry. Obviously, cover all of your, as you can see, I covered all of the, how you call it, edges, so that is covered, that is taped. There are some corners, but they don't matter, because on inside there's covered already and then there's probably another one layer on that, so that's alright. I will check if I have some extra. I might gonna cover it, just so it's not going to be flappy, and it's going to be alright. Yeah, basically that's the situation. And today is a Friday. Tomorrow I have some things to do in other place, which is not construction site anymore. And yeah, so probably tomorrow we are going to start, or I'm gonna to start placing, measuring the metal sheeting where it's gonna actually sit, and hopefully that's going to be alright, because we're gonna start from the walls. We're gonna do all the walls 100% around, and then we're gonna climb on the roof, because by the system how it should go always with metal sheeting from the ground, because as I say, same with the tarp, same with the metal sheeting, you have to overlap it, the top layer, and the top layer, so which means you basically start from the bottom and you go way higher. So these corners, as I showed you before on the previous episodes, so these ones are the ones that the water is not going to go over it and down. These ones are, this part is going to sit on the roof, and this bigger part is gonna sit by the wall like this. So on the top layer, on the roof, this is going to be getting under. So the roof is gonna sit on top like so. The water is gonna flow and then directly down. On this part, which is going to be placed by the wall, the roof is going to sit underneath. So which means if the roof is here on top and here is underneath, and the water is gonna flow like this, then it's gonna straight down and then on the panel down to the ground, you know. So that is very simple, very easy system to do. I think anybody can do actually. And those ones are the corners where are we going to place by the outside corners and by some of the corners where the water is not going to flow. So those are for that. If we are going to miss some, or I will calculate a bit different kind of shape or form or angles I need, I'm just gonna drive it to the other city, buy it straight from the shop. But now I'm gonna do this last piece I had to do, and as you can see, everything is kind of green right now. I cleaned up a little bit. There was this kind of stool to climb up a bit higher, so everything is kind of cleaned up. All these supporting brackets I took it off and basically left this junk from this old house, all these bricks and concrete slabs, and you know. And yeah, so far everything looks like this. Everything is covered nice and tight. You can clearly see where the small boards are passing, where the joints with other tarp overlapping pass it also, you can see. So there's like one line, then second line on top, then third line, and then the fourth and the last one. And then you can see clearly also for this green tarp how is it going. You can see where is, as I said, overlapping 2 or 3 times more. There are also some corners that were like placed, so we can cut those off, or you can pre-cut it and just shoot it and it's not in your way. That's kind of situation right now what we have. I have also a bit of a mess right now because I have many of these like boards that I removed that were like supporting and you know, like trashy. You just cut off like the ends and everything. So I think I will need to collect everything, separate which boards are which, like the good ones and the bad ones, you know. We also have we have like we have actually 4 slabs of 6 meters. One slab is 5 meters, and then we have the rest of these are like around 2 meters, maybe 190, 180. Those also like 4 ones are definitely 2 meters long. We have few of these boards left, which I'm probably going to use for the roof if I'm going to need. So those parts, some of it we're gonna use it. As you can see, there are small parts, big parts. There was many boards that was placed just like that to keep gaps for air ventilation to dry up a bit. We have many of those. For those, what we're gonna do is we actually going to use them in a proper way. We're going to make extra supports or to go like inside the angle, which is going to be like, as you can see, we placed these boards all the way around, and basically all of these beams are sitting like on an angle, basically on a tip, on a corner, you know. So we're gonna pre-cut those small blocks, and we're gonna place for each of these beam to make extra strong. We're asking, why are you gonna do that? I mean, the beams are sitting fine, they're nice and sturdy. Well, I have so much material, is basically, I don't know, if you're gonna put it in the fire, it can last you, I don't know, a few days, but I mean, just in case for throwing away, we can use them. We can make it a bit sturdy, more stronger, and yeah, so we're gonna use them in a proper way. Saw we just built one and second, so there's two boxes. We still need to put the bottom, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna measure and we're gonna pre-cut some longer pieces and just place them, screw them, take it to the car and drive it to other place. Probably I'm not gonna film, so see you after lunch. Next day, I have cleaned all the boards that I showed you that was not good for me. I have made those boxes. I have them driven to the other part of garden. And yeah, so today I'm starting to place some metal sheeting on the sides. Let me show you how it's going. We started from there, we pre-cut those, and then we start measure and cut each of those by the length we need. So we have a lot of pieces, which is 75 centimeters long, and those are few from the cross cuts over here, so that's pretty nice. Of course, as you saw, we have by the front also like 3 panels placed, so that's actually a lot of progress I did. Tomorrow I will probably film it how I'm doing it, and I think I thought it was like, I don't know, it's going to be like time consuming. It's gonna take a lot to get it into place, get it level, straight and everything. Well, I'm heading home right now. It started to rain, and yep, see you tomorrow. So next morning, and what do we have today is going to basically continue our metal sheeting over the windows, everything. Why I'm covering the windows, I think I said, but because I don't have the windows yet, I haven't searched none of it. So for now I'm just gonna cover it in total. Maybe I could find a bit for a better deal, like a few centimeters shorter or wider. It doesn't matter, because I'm going to cover it, and when we are going to have the windows, I'm just gonna cut exactly measurements what I need, and that way I have no headache of, oh, is it gonna fit, is it we are going to find, So yeah, so first things first, we're gonna start preparing our metal sheeting, cutting the length we need. First things first, of course, you have to sharpen your pencils all the time, because this kind of texture on the metal sheeting eats graphite like crazy. It's like you're gonna take your pencil or crayon and just start writing on a asphalt or concrete, it just chops up real good. So yesterday I sharpened it like, I don't know, 6 times probably. And I don't know, I'm a bit old school. I use this old squarish, this type of pencils. How I sharpen them, well, I think you can see, just with a knife regularly. There is this sharpening tools, you can put it in and do this, that. Come on, if you're a construction worker, fastest and easiest way, you don't carry your sharpener in your pocket, you always have your knife, so you can use it very well. For what I need, as I said, this sheeting is 3 meters long, and what I need is 2 meters and 25 centimeters, my diameter that actually fits the wall. So first things first, we are just gonna measure our length that we need to cut it off. So that's what we are doing. Basically every single piece. And of course you lay down your stick, your measuring tool, whatever you have in hand that is straight. You place it, and then you just mark it where you need to cut. If you have some skills with a cutter, either you have electric one, either you're cutting with scissors, you're pretty much know how to cut straight. But just for good measurement, I always leave a mark so I don't wiggle around, you know. Take one of your sheets. I use Stanley, I don't know how it's, Fat Max Stanley cutting scissors. As you can see, it's a bit curved. For me it works. It has a smaller head, so you have more room to get into the grooves and twist and like do like that. So that's pretty good for me. I only use them for now. I have a bit of a struggle to cut like in a lengthways, because the metal does not wanna, you know, lift, because the one edge is just keeps straight, and the other edge where you're cutting wants to keep it either up or either downside, so you have to kind of flip those apart. But those pretty much works for me. I don't know, it's pretty cheap one. I don't know, like 20 euros I think. Of course, with that set you have your good gloves. It doesn't have to be like you know, leather gloves, but I like pretty much to have this kind of thick material. It's kind of leather, I don't really know, but it has this thick pattern, which basically you can easily work with them and do not worry about, you know, cutting your finger or your arm, or getting, you know, like a shiver in your palm. So that works for me. And how I'm going to do, well, I'm just gonna start the cutting. Easy as that. The process is not so quick, but I just wanna show you for the content how long it takes to actually do it. So at first you're gonna be careful a bit, follow the line, and then you just simply following the line. As you can see, I'm just holding a bit with my foot. I'm not pressed, but I'm just holding it, and with this arm I'm just lifting up, so I have a room for my cutting edge right here. And yeah, so basically that's how you do it. So I do those manually, every single one. I measure. I mean, for measurements, I know exactly how tall are my walls, you know. So you just take one measure and start preparing one at a time. And I'm gonna show you how to install these. So first things first, what I am actually doing is, well, because I'm usually working alone, I find a way how to do it a bit easier. And by saying easier, I mean you always have to have some kind of extra guide, extra support, you know, because it's that things are doing your work way easier, not harder, and also could be way faster. So the first thing first I'm doing is always I have this one piece over here. Yeah. So I have this stick, you know, board, whatever you have. So I always press pretty tight with the last panel, like the corner, the last wave, or you can do it like, I don't know, a few centimeters if you want. So I press that, of course. Then I check with my level. So it'd be almost straight, at least. So that's level. So now when you're putting your panel, you're gonna just put it right here directly, and you're just gonna sit. So you only have to just hold it, and you can check your other side for the level. You always have to have few heads in your pocket. Change it as you go. Always prepare your main tool, prepare your secondary tool, the tools you're gonna to need it for like mounting and checking, and then you just bring your panel. So those panels are pretty easy to carry. It doesn't weigh a lot, so that's very good. So yep, so that's kind of sits in place, and you check with your level one side, so it's level, and then you just pre-screw it. So that's how you do it actually. So when you're done screwing everything, so I have a window, so obviously here where the window I do not screw any of it. I just check where is my boards and screw them directly. When you're screwing them, please, if you can see, this is kind of slightly squished, so that's what you want. Every single one of them are, as you can see, slightly squished. The edge where it connects to the other one, as I said, this is going to get under and this on top, so you have nice and even seams, you know. So that's what you want. And if you're asking what kind of screws I'm using, those are basically 8mm with metal and rubber washer with a drill head. I don't know how, self-tapping or how you want to call it. And I'm using it with a 8mm magnet head, so that works very well. For the first two, I'm just gonna like set up like this, and then I could just easily with one hand hold it, and with other hand, because this is already installed, I just screw it directly, so then it holds, and then I can do it way easier. Either you can use magnet heads, or you can use like a small ball pit heads. Yeah, as you probably know, it's next day. We have finished also the top layer. We have finished basically all the boards, only other side where the corner needs to be done, this top one, only that is waiting for me. So today I'm gonna finish that corner. I'm going to completely prepare it for the roof, and for only roof, because the roof then goes on. And I think this video is kind of pretty long, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up and leave it the roof for the next one. So thank you for watching. As always, check my Instagram for latest updates on the house build and other projects. Thank you for watching. See you next time.